So if you're a procrastinator like me, you've probably been ignoring some messages in Home Assistant, or maybe you haven't upgraded Home Assistant at all. And during the holidays in December, you may have some extra time and you want to upgrade Home Assistant. Well, there's some changes if you use MQTT to manually configure a bunch of your devices. So we're going to jump in and show you some of those changes, and we got some cool little things I'll show you in TASMOTA along the way as well. So let's get to it.
Hey, man, arrows, huh? I don't know how to speak. It's a bright. I gotta tell you, I'm holding my breath.
So awesome!
And I didn't get it on video.
We need to charge us.
Can we do it again?
My friend went down the hill by accident and landed in the
Let's not do it with thousands of dollars of vehicles in the
That's
in the
what I
way.
said. Don't hit the cars.
You probably followed some of my stuff in the past, and well, things change to, all these various configs and everything, these breaking changes. And for some reason they decided to, and I won't jump into that. I'm sure there's a particular reason, maybe, I don't know. But we got no choice. If you upgrade to 2022.12, then you're going to really have an issue. This is 22.11. And it has been warning us for several months that, you need to move your MQTT stuff. So if you're a TASMOTA user and you did a lot of manual config, and much like I did in the past, and there's some things you probably want to jump to the Home Assistant TASMOTA integration, and maybe you still want some manual stuff out there. So there's some reasons why I would move some stuff to the TASMOTA integration and some stuff I wouldn't, because not everything is supported by the HA TASMOTA integration. So to start off, what do we have to change is I'm going to jump into the configuration YAML, and you may have, there's tons of different ways to jump into there, whether you use the file editor add-on or whatever. I just like to use something simple, the KISS principle, Notepad++. Some people use VS Code, whatever. It all edits the same file, so just jump in there and edit your config YAML. So one of them that you may want to keep in there, just due to the way the configuration is that little Shelly device, still one of my favorites when you can do it using the little dry contact relay. Pretty awesome, has the little terminals case built on, ready to go, and it's powered through DC voltage. Throw TASMOTA on it, call it a day. But not everything is supported with the way we use it differently. And so the cover configuration, the problem is the way MQTT wants things. And let's just jump back. I know I'm jumping ahead. Here's that cover. And it complains about, hey, this stops working in 2022.12, blah, 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 right? And, well, a lot of us probably pressed ignore. Well, let's go to jump to the documentation. And, ouch, turn on dark reader. Sorry about that. The real simple, dumbed down way it wants things in YAML is it wants everything jammed under MQTT. And, well, before we didn't have them like that. So we just kind of threw everything under light, binary sensor, etc. I have a couple examples here as binary sensor and then the fan. Now you see the fan, this one's correct. So it's not complaining about the fan. It's telling us that we have a binary sensor, a cover, and a light. And this was that little Martin Jerry fan controller. Just wanted to show, I have it, the little configuration on my website. And see it as of 22.6. This is the configuration you use. And it's just jammed under MQTT. And then you have those sections under. It's really simple if you think about it. It's just the pain in the ass of going through and editing everything if you have a lot of them. And I would recommend some of them, the simple ones, just go ahead and use the TASMOTA HA integration. And I'll get to some little things on that further down the video. You can just jump ahead in the markers if you want to. So a really easy way to do this is, say I want to take this cover, right? And so I'm just going to take and cut this cover. Since I already have an MQTT section, and I have, I don't want to throw it under fan, so I'll just come under here and toss it in there, and then you need to indent everything under that. I think the notepad do tab. Yeah, so this one will automatically, if you just highlight all of them and do tab, it'll jump under. And this is where you start to need that ruler almost, but Notepad++ lets you collapse some of this. So I've got two spaces here, and now it's lined up, as you can see here. And yeah, I know it's sometimes silly, but I have taken a pencil and a ruler, and sometimes trying to line it up, it's just easier on the screen, the fun of doing YAML, right? So the problem is now is the platform MQTT does not need to be here. So you can really just nuke that because we're all under MQTT. And then you need to put the dash, and that way it does it as that one entity. So pretty simple there. We can check our work. So we'll save, and we'll jump back over to Home Assistant and see what it complains about now. So as long as the config is showing it will not prevent Home Assistant from starting, we can just go ahead and restart. It's going to restart the container, the system, or whatever. I'm just using a container here. So let's go check under repairs. Are there any repairs? Oh, show ignored repairs. That's how you do it. Yeah, it's not too bad to do. Figured it out in a couple seconds. So you can see now we only have these two repairs to do now. We fixed that cover. Pretty simple. Let's jump in and fix the binary sensor as well. 2 tabs. And I'm just going to keep the dash. And that's pretty much it. So let's save, check config, restart, restart. It takes a few seconds. Wet the palette. That's camouflage, by the way, so y'all shouldn't be able to see that. Settings, system, repairs, show ignored repairs. So you can see now we got one MQTT Lite. So that leads us to the next part. So pretty much that fixes all of them. And you just got to go through and it's edit things up and put them all under the MQTT tag in YAML. Pretty simple. I like to keep a space in here so I can easily see when I'm scrolling. Hey, I've got a cover. That's where my binary sensors. And that does bring a good question. What if you have multiple? Then you would just put them under like you would in other sections. Is, you know, of course, you'd have different names or whatever. And you just keep putting them all under that one section and it'll be happy. So pretty simple stuff. So this typical light, this is one that I would go ahead and I would probably remove it because this is just a simple dimmer that we had with TASMOTA. There's really no reason why you shouldn't use it under the HA TASMOTA integration because it's really simple to do. And I'll show you one of a little power way of like how you can also do some stuff because you don't want everything to be in the HA TASMOTA integration. What I like to nuke them out because what I like to do is get rid of them, restart Home Assistant, and then I'll go and grab the entity and I want to rename it to the same exact entity. And that way I don't have to change all my automations or Node-RED or maybe whatever it may be. So now when we go in here and check, we've made Home Assistant happy and well, you can go ahead and upgrade your system or you can get those entities back if you've already upgraded to, 22.12, probably when you're seeing this video over the holidays and you're bored or want to get away from family. I don't recommend that sometimes. Now, I did cover the Home Assistant TASMOTA integration probably, 2 years ago, if not more? And yeah, it's been a while. If you haven't added it yet, go in here and hit Add Integration and just add the TASMOTA integration. Pretty simple. You just hit Add TASMOTA, leave the default, hit Submit, Finish. So now we'll jump over to our TASMOTA device. Like I say, I had this little dimmer here. It's just a standard PWM dimmer, the Martin Jerry dimmers, one of my favorites. Yeah, if you don't know what that is, you should probably go check out the video somewhere there or the website. because they do have the pre-flashed ones. Pretty slick. So this one isn't added to MQTT yet. What I like to do is I do like to go in here and go to configuration, configure other, and I like to change the name first. So like I may say this living dimmer. Probably an awful name to use, but whatever. Then under MQTT, and I do wish that those two settings were all under the same page. That would make things so much easier. So I'll put in my MQTT, I'll put in my user, and I'll just do living room dimmer for a topic. I like to give them a unique topic. You really don't have to, but it does make things easier on some other stuff. But don't change anything else. Hit save. Once it reboots, if you do go check the console, it should show that it's MQTT or MQT is connected, and it should automatically be in Home Assistant once you flip over there. Didn't do anything. It jumps right in there. There's no YAML to edit, no nothing. It jumps straight into Home Assistant. How cool is that? You can see living room dimmer. Now, so I talked about that one section. If you entity is changed and maybe you were using it like on your dashboard or something, and now you've alienated it, and it's saying such and such not available, like this, then you can just go and copy this entity ID, and then I'll jump back to, and I'll get lost because I have shortcuts over here. That's probably another video, but integrations. And if you go in here, you can edit and change the name of it, the whole thing, or you can just edit the entity here. And you could change it, light living room dimmer 2 or whatever, or you need to change the name and hit update and call it a day. So the cool part is everything TASMOTA with MQTT is going to pop automatically into Home Assistant. Sometimes that's a bad thing. Sometimes we have some device group switches that we don't want in there. We have some secondary stuff, and we just don't want them in Home Assistant. Or you maybe want to configure them manually for some reason, like that fan controller, or, the garage door opener deal. You don't want to bring those things in using the TASMOTA integration. Before, you had to go ignore them and edit them. Well, the cool part is if you are on one of the later versions of TASMOTA, if I go in here, I've got a round plug, we got living room, TASMOTA, yep, and we can turn the plug on and off. But how do you remove it? Well, you could come in here and hit delete, but then as soon as the device rebooted, then it would repost, and yeah, there's a whole, it's so much easier to just stop it at the source. Well, remember that set option, if you've been around TASMOTA a while, set option 19? Well, now that it has come in our favor somewhat, if you come in here and do set option 19.1, that's the old auto discovery. Well, that's been removed from TASMOTA. And what happens is immediately TASMOTA will remove, I didn't restart nothing, didn't reboot anything, I didn't edit the video, it just took it right out. So you've hidden that device from Home Assistant and you won't have it in there. And if you did want to go, you could just turn it back to set option 19.0 and it would pop straight into Home Assistant. So pretty cool feature, especially if you got a bunch of little weird devices and you got specialized stuff and you don't want it to be brought into the Home Assistant integration. And before you click off, I definitely appreciate some of the generosity that a certain Discord member did help us out with some of these outros. So stay tuned to some of those and you'll see them on various videos. So if you got any other questions or you're just getting stuck on anything or you got some other TASMOTA questions, definitely shoot us a comment down below. Come join us in Discord or whatever it may be. If you want to see some other walkthroughs of different things in TASMOTA, maybe we'll do something, you know, if you got some ideas or whatever it may be, we'll try to schedule something and get something done on that as well. Smash all them buttons down there and all right, see you later.
animated. You got it?
Whoa, that was fast.
All right, but get back in, close the door, and then do it again.
Oh.
We'll fix it in post.
Yes.
Whoa, that was fast.
What?
Once.
Funched?
How's my diamond, Dad? Is it cool and stuff?
Why did it start off?
I walked away and then I locked the door.
Okay. Okay, put the window back up.
Yeah, one more take.